Hi you guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. I'm sorry for kind of the weird lighting right now. I wanted to record this video really bad today, but I was exhausted all day, and now it is 7:15 p.m. and I was trying to find Elysian Park, and apparently Elysian Park is not what I thought Elysian Park was, so I'm on the side of the road. It's actually so insanely gorgeous. I don't think you can see, but the streets are just lined with palm trees, and the sun is setting to my right. And it's stunning outside, but I feel like there might be some weird shadows, but it is what it is. I'm just happy that I'm here recording. Anyways, today I wanted to make a video about, I guess, kind of the importance of embracing vulnerability and how I've been able to do that more in my life. I think that this is such an important thing to do, to be able to live a whole and full and really fulfilling, Jesus Christ, a whole and full and really fulfilling life. I was inspired by a conversation that I was having with my two best friends recently, and we were just talking about the things that we feel like we need to do in life, but that just feel so scary, or the conversations that we need to have that we've kind of just been avoiding because they feel really vulnerable. And I just really realized that this is something that I used to struggle with a lot, but I have really improved upon. And I think it's because of certain perspective shifts that I've been able to have in my life, from certain, teachers and people sharing. Brene Brown has helped me a lot. And just seeing people in my life, people I know and people that I don't know, put themselves out there. It's just always so inspiring. So I feel like this is something that I have really embraced and made huge leaps and bounds with in the last, I would say 6 years, I guess. So anyways, I just wanted to say that I know it can be really scary to embrace vulnerability, or to lean into it, or to do the vulnerable thing. But truly, I think what scares me even more, like what is genuinely spookier sounding to me, is living a life half-lived where I am just playing it safe and never really putting myself out there or taking a risk or expressing how I truly feel out of fear. That is literally one of my worst nightmares. I think definitely you can play it safe, but it's just so much less fulfilling, and I feel like it doesn't take you very far. Like, I feel like doing the scary thing, doing the brave thing, doing the thing that you feel the inner calling to do, or saying the thing that you can feel at the tip of your tongue, but you're just not sure how the person is going to react. Like, all of those things, even though they're so scary, they bring so much opportunity for connection and growth and new experience. So I just feel like it's so worth it. Because I don't know, you guys, my biggest, literally something that plagues me is just the thought of having these what ifs later in life and not chasing the things that I wanted to chase and not doing the things I wanted to do just because I was scared of how people were going to react to it, or if I was going to be rejected, or if feelings were going to be reciprocated, or if I was going, just to get the reaction that I'm hoping for. That literally keeps me up at night thinking about not doing the things that I feel really called to do. So ultimately for me, it is always so worth it to do the scary thing. And I really feel like I've actually been able to genuinely find safety and vulnerability and really feel kind of like this unconditional love safety net in my life. And I think that comes from just really having a deep connection with myself. And I really feel like the main perspective shift that I've been able to make. And also, just wanted to say, I am somebody who used to be really closed off. I used to be somebody who, I was always too cool, and I wanted to be the cool girl, and I wanted to just say like everything was fine, and I, would want to wait to text back. And I just I really was against crying. For some reason, I really just was adverse to tears. It would make me so uncomfortable when my mom would cry during movies when I was younger. And I just had this personality growing up where I was just I did not like to show myself being vulnerable. I really, really didn't. And I didn't like hugs, and I didn't like expressing emotion. And I kind of made that my personality, was being this person that was like, ew, like stay away from me. I don't like emotion. And it's so crazy because like I am the most emotional person I know. I'm the most sensitive person I know. I'm a crybaby. I have a Pisces stellium, okay, a Cancer rising. I am an extremely emotional person who feels things very, very deeply and actually loves to connect deeply and express myself. But I think I had just really, really repressed those parts of myself out of wanting to be like cool or not wanting to show weakness or wanting to protect myself. Mainly, I feel like I don't know. I just think I didn't feel comfortable expressing vulnerability yet. Like it didn't feel safe to me. And so a lot of it was just kind of these like layers of protection that I had put on. And I just remember like in like maybe 2020, like having this realization about how like I've always said that I hated hugs. And then like I'd been hugging my friends and I was like, wait, but this actually feels good. And I was like, what is this shift that's happening? And I think I just realized that there were so many things that I was feeling inside that I wanted to express or do. And I was kind of like coming out of my shell a little bit and just realizing like, oh, it actually is safe for me to do these things. Like I actually can be myself and I would rather be myself. And I think that realization came about through like a whole journey of just like self-discovery and self-love that I went through over many years, and a lot of journaling and a lot of listening to podcasts and reading a lot of books about, you know, authenticity and being your true self, and you know, leaning into vulnerability and all kinds of things like that. And so I think I just slowly started to realize that like I liked, you know, the warm, fuzzy things. I liked being soft. I liked expressing my emotions. I was somebody that always had a really hard time like being lovey-dovey. And then I realized once I allowed myself the space to actually do it, it just was pouring out of me. And so I think that's really what it was, is a lot of just allowance. I think a lot of times we know the things that we want to say, we know the things that we want to do, but we're just not really letting ourselves do it. And once we kind of give ourselves permission to just speak freely, express freely, exist freely, these things come really natural. It's not even really something that you have to practice or try to obtain. A lot of it is already there. I think a lot of times we're just taught to repress things because for some reason in this culture right now, and especially like in dating culture, I've noticed that like the thing that everybody wants to do is just be really closed off and nonchalant and act like they have no emotion. And I just think that is like the craziest thing because we are human beings. And of course we feel like we are emotional beings. Like that is normal. It is normal to want to act like a fucking human being because we are human beings. And I don't know why this has become such a, I mean, I guess I do know why, because I was doing it back then too. And I think a lot of times it's just like protection, or like fear of like being seen or being seen as like cringy or something like that. And I just think it's so lame. And I even have to correct myself at times. Even recording these videos is extremely vulnerable for me. It is very rare that I actually like feel very proud of a video I make. There's usually a lot of insecurities that I have in them, and posting it online feels extremely excruciatingly vulnerable. But I just believe so deeply in the things that I am saying and feel so strongly that I am supposed to express these things, and it always feels so cathartic for me to do so. And so I just push through it anyways, and I force myself most of the time to actually upload the video and see it through. But of course it's scary. It feels, you know, embarrassing a lot of the time, but it's something that I, you know, feel really deeply as like a calling of mine. And so I'm just, you know, I'm pushing through and I'm doing it, and I'm just trying to embrace the vulnerability behind it, and, you know, just trying to really, you know, allow myself to be myself. And so I think what I was trying to say is that basically I used to be this very, very closed off person. And in the last like however many years, I really have been able to allow myself the permission to be myself freely. And I feel like over time it has just snowballed and snowballed and now has become like really second nature for me. Of course, there are moments that feel really scary, or, you know, I kind of want to run away instead of doing the vulnerable thing. But for the most part, I feel actually very safe and very confident within myself and within my world and existence. And I feel like I'm able to carry that into basically all of my interactions and generally be very honest about how I'm feeling. And, you know, I've had to do a lot of things that were really scary. I've had to ask my boss for a raise, and I was literally shaking in my fucking boots, so nervous, literally crying, asking her, because I feel really uncomfortable talking about money, and I just didn't know what her response was going to be, but I knew that I needed to do it, and I'd been putting it off for so long. And I've really realized that the worst that can happen is somebody is either going to say no, the feelings aren't going to be reciprocated, or you're not going to get the reaction you were hoping for. But the thing is, those things are not going to kill you. Like, that is the worst that can happen. And actually, instead of focusing on the worst that could happen, we could focus on the really great things that could come out of it. Like, I was so nervous to ask my boss that, and it felt so vulnerable and so scary. Just for me personally, maybe that wouldn't be scary for somebody else, but for me, it really was scary. And she ended up increasing my rate more than I could have even imagined. And now I'm making more money than I ever have, and I feel so grateful. And it has greatly improved my quality of life and really helped relieve a lot of financial stress in my life. And I wouldn't have that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't put myself out there and asked. So a lot of times, like, to bring the things in our life that, we really want, it's on the other side of like a really uncomfortable conversation or situation, or doing something just like out of your comfort zone. I know for me also, like, I was feeling really lonely like this time last year. I did not feel like I had very many friends in my life. And I just was really upset about it, and ultimately decided, like, okay, I have to put myself out there. So I started going to events alone, which was terrifying. Like, I would call my family and be like, can you talk to me on the phone while I walk in? Like, I feel so uncomfortable walking in by myself, but ultimately, like, I knew this is how you meet people. And then, like, somebody that I knew back in the day, my friend Lily, somebody I wasn't very close with, had reached out to me. We had always kind of known each other, but hadn't really hung out one-on-one, and she wanted to reconnect, and I really wanted to reconnect with her too, but I was kind of nervous, I remember, because I was like, I don't know exactly how this is gonna go. Like, I just had social anxiety, I just was like a little bit nervous, and I'm so glad that I said yes to hanging out, because we like instantly hit it off and have been best friends since. And then we put ourselves out there to go to this event where you're supposed to meet other like-minded girls that like nature. It's through Gorp Girls. And we met our best friend, Jenny, and it's just been amazing ever since. And like, I just feel so lucky to have these amazing girls in my life, and I feel so fulfilled by our friendship. But I just, it was vulnerable. Like, I had to put myself out there, and I had to go to things alone, and I had to make plans with people and actually see them through, even though I didn't know what we were going to talk about or how it was going to go, if we were going to vibe, right? And that was really scary to me at the time. I'm telling you, I had really bad like social anxiety. But that is how you build genuine connections, is by embracing that vulnerability and just by being yourself. I found a lot of comfort in also just expressing, like, I'm feeling really nervous right now, or I'm feeling really anxious right now, and I don't know why, and just knowing that it is safe for me to say those things. And really, I think the biggest perspective shift that I have made is just realizing that embracing vulnerability, it has nothing to do with how other people react or respond to you embracing your vulnerability, to you expressing something, to you being yourself, to you, taking a risk. It has nothing, the success rate on what you should base, like, was this interaction successful? Did this go well? Should not be based on somebody's response to it. It should be based on the fact that you actually did it. I think that is so big, because it really has nothing to do with how it is reacted to. It has to do with the fact that you felt this inner calling that was scary, and you did it anyways. And through doing that, I feel like you build such a strong relationship and connection with yourself, and such a deep trust with yourself, to know that you actually can trust yourself to do the thing that you feel is right. And it can just be such a beautiful experience to sit with yourself and be like, I'm so scared to have this conversation, but I'm going to be here with myself while I do it. And no matter what, I'm going to be okay. No matter what comes of this, it's going to be okay. But I'm going to know deep within myself that I did the thing that was scary, and I'm going to be proud of myself regardless. I think that is such a beautiful thing, and will take you so far in life. And of course, sometimes it's not going to work out the way that you wanted. That's just a part of life. And honestly, I feel like when feelings aren't reciprocated, when people tell you no, a lot of times it actually brings a lot of necessary clarity and or redirection. I really feel like the things that are meant for us will happen, but sometimes you have to put yourself out there and ask for it, or, work for it, or upload your videos and do the thing that feels nerve-wracking, but you have to actually like put in the action to let it even be a possibility to work out, And a lot of times it can go right. Sometimes, you know, somebody else is feeling the same way you are. Maybe you've been dating somebody and you want to make it exclusive, or you want to tell somebody I love you for the first time, and you could just feel it so deeply in your heart and you want to say it, but you're scared they're not going to reciprocate it, right? I just feel like knowing within yourself that you are doing the thing that feels true to you is so rewarding and so fulfilling. And maybe that other person is feeling the same way, but they've also been too scared. So sometimes you have to be the first one to take the step and do the vulnerable thing. Obviously, I don't think in a relationship dynamic, one person should always be carrying that. I think it should be equal. But, you know, sometimes somebody's got to be the first one. And if you feel like you can do it, I really just highly encourage you to do it, because you don't know what beauty and magic and deep connection and memories can come from it. Like, when I think about the most meaningful experiences that I've had in my life, they were generally from putting myself in situations that felt really out of my comfort zone, conversations that felt really scary to have, but ended up being so just like life-changing or so important and just so deep, you know, or going to events and introducing myself to people because I didn't know anybody yet, and that's how I made like some of my best friends that I love so deeply. Or putting out these videos and being able to connect with people in the comments, or have somebody comment saying that exactly what I said was exactly what they needed to hear. Like, that is so fulfilling to me on such a soul level. And even though it's so nerve-wracking for me to post and for me to be seen imperfectly like right now, even though it's so scary, it is so worth it. And I think it is just so in our human nature, you know? So I'm just all about, you know, just being myself. And I'm just so over these like ego games of trying to be cool and trying to be closed off. Like, that is honestly the biggest turnoff to me when I meet people, is anybody that just like tries to put on this front like they just don't feel anything. I think that's so lame and so boring. And I'm like, good for you. Hope that works out. I want nothing to do with it, because I feel things so deeply and this experience is so short, and I just want to live it all, you know, to the highest potential I can, and just connect as deeply as I can, and really just express myself as authentically as I can. And I feel like the right people and the right opportunities will align with you when you do that. So anyways, you guys, I think that's all I wanted to express, that really it has nothing to do with how, you know, things are responded to. It really has to do with just you feeling deeply connected to yourself and your own life experience, and just knowing within yourself that you are, you know, listening to your intuition or that inner voice, and doing the things that you feel you need to do, having the conversations that you feel you need to have, pursuing the goals that you want to pursue, even if it feels really, really vulnerable. And just trusting your life path, and just trusting that, you know, the things that are supposed to work out will, and just, you know, trying to find safety in being yourself, and reminding yourself that, like, yeah, you are safe to express, you know, like, no matter what, you're going to be okay, and you are held in this unconditional love safety net. And, yeah, I'm just sending you guys so much love. And I wanted to leave you with this quote that I actually saw years ago, because Hitomi had posted it. She's a YouTuber, and I've been watching her for so many years, and I admire her so much, and I just love her videos, and they always really bring me back down to earth, and were a big inspiration to me starting my YouTube channel, because I just remember like going through a breakup. Oh my God, and that's another thing, like, of course, it's like you don't know how things are going to work out, like, even in love, it's so scary. Like, that was what me and my friends were talking about, that it inspired this video, was how scary it is to, like, get in a relationship after your heart is broken. And I just keep telling them, like, oh, it's just so beautiful to wear your heart on your sleeve. And I know it's scary, and obviously you should be discerning and maybe learn from past experiences. I mean, trust me, I've been cheated on in my last 2 relationships. It's like horrendous, and I'm in therapy now because I don't ever want to let those experiences taint me. I'm such a lover girl, and I believe so deeply that I will experience a beautiful, healthy, happy, long-lasting love in my life, okay? I am calling it in. And I want to have a family, and I'm going to have a family, and it's going to be so beautiful. But you guys, like, it's so worth it. Even though there's pain, even though there's heartbreak, like, life would be so boring and dull if we just played it safe. Like, yes, it's an option, but I just refuse to live my life like that. So even though it's scary, even though I have felt immense heartbreak, and there is the fear that that can happen when you, like, open yourself back up to love, I just think it's always so worth it. It's so worth it, because you get to experience something just so beautiful and special, and nothing lasts forever anyways. Like this whole experience is temporary. So I really feel like you just have to try to just embrace things while they're happening in the moment and make the most of it in the moment, and just take away the lessons. And try to, I guess, have a little bit of the law of detachment. But I think it's just so worth it, because otherwise life is just so boring. So I know how scary it can be. Trust me, I have all of these trauma responses. It's really, really scary, but I just like, love is such a beautiful thing that I think we're all so deserving of experiencing. And so I know I'm doing the work to always remain open. And I'm so proud of myself for always being open. Even if it doesn't always work out, like at least I'm trying. At least I'm like staying open, and I'm not letting these like experiences and these people's poor decisions like turn me off from living my life, you know? But anyways, I wanted to leave you guys with this quote that she had posted on her Instagram. And it is by Mark Nepo. It says, "We waste so much energy trying to cover up who we are, when beneath every attitude is the want to be loved, and beneath every anger is a wound to be healed, and beneath every sadness is the fear that there will not be enough time. When we hesitate in being direct, we unknowingly slip something on, some added layer of protection that keeps us from feeling the world, and often that thin covering is the beginning of a loneliness, which, if not put down, diminishes our chances of joy. It is like wearing gloves every time we touch something, and then, forgetting we choose to put them on, we complain that nothing feels quite real. Our challenge is each day to not get dressed up to face the world, but to unglove ourselves so that the doorknob feels cold, and the car handle feels wet, and the kiss goodbye feels like the lips of another being, soft and unrepeatable." By Mark Nepo. I just think that is so beautiful and has everything to do with what I've been trying to express, and is so well put. I just want to feel it all. I really want to feel it all, and I really feel like that is the only way to do it. So I hope that this was inspiring. I hope that this makes you feel safer in being yourself. That's really all I can hope for. And this is a continual reminder for myself as well. I like to watch Brene Brown. If you look up Brene Brown Vulnerability on YouTube, I think she has like a special on it that I had watched before, maybe on Netflix or something, where she talks a lot about this concept, and that's where I got it from, and it has been so helpful for me. And I feel like that is something that I have to rewatch like every couple of months, because it's hard when everyone around you wants to act like they don't care. Sometimes it can be easy to fall into it, but then I have to remind myself, you know, if I start to feel disconnected from myself, and I'm like, I have to be me, even if it's scary, even if it seems like other people aren't being themselves. I have to be me. And not to say that other people don't. I know a lot of people that really embrace vulnerability, and it's so inspiring to me, and I love those people, and those are the people that I try to surround myself with. But I think it's good to have these reminders every once in a while. So anyways, I love you guys, and I will see you guys in a video again soon. Thank you for being here. Bye.